Hi, my name is Jerome Guitton. I work at the Fisheries and Aquatic Science Center in AgrocampusOuest as a technology facilitator. I represent the view of a scientist who wants to improve assessment on ecosystems through better dissemination of data and processes. I'm involved in many European projects to improve data access and analysis. I will try to focus on the consequence of the general trend of open access availability of data. This phenomenon will continue to increase in the coming years in parallel of the size of the data available. New trends like open access and big data will enable the emergence of an increasing amount of new analysis that will use a large variety of sources to explain a phenomenon. Meta-analysis. So, I think that part of my job, which consists in helping scientists to get easily access to data, I will see major changes taking place. If I make a schematic view of this job, we are coming from a world of user-to-users exchange. We are in a world where data is going from websites to user exchange. And we will be in a world where the user will have open and wider access to the data. The problem today is to set up an infrastructure to facilitate the link between data provider database and end users. The processes between the database, the web services, and the end users are definitively hard for the average human being to grasp. I'm not talking about geeks here. For example, I have dealt for a long time with scientific world survey data, and I was in charge of merging a long-time series for West African countries. The scientific name of the species has changed, and scientists were very interested in having a tool to get the same name for the same species for all the time series. I can easily understand this need. During last decade, many services with many different ways to access have been set up. And finally, in 2014, the problem I have is not to find a tool to check the name of my species, but to find the right one. That is the easiest to use. I don't want to develop a new interface for each of the services available and to maintain it. For me, the job performed by iMarine in setting up an unified interface to search web services, as it has been done for the Bionym service, is a good way to improve data and process accessibility. I have developed an end-user interface, an R package, that consumes the Bionym web services to check a vector of species name. Several options in the service allow the user to go deeper in the parameters of if he or she wants or does not want. If the provider changes the way to access the data, I don't need to change my interface, but I just have to call an iMarine specialist to modify their web services to be compliant with the modification of the data providers. Today, many actors are not really interested in iMarine capacities because a lot of time has been spent to ensure the viability of the global infrastructure, which is really highly variable. Many other examples will prove it during this meeting. Now, technical support and mediation is needed to create a link between the infra web services provided through iMarine and the scientists, particularly those that are involved in the ecosystem approach for fisheries. iMarine more recent efforts are going in the right direction with release of new areas, including Bionym, which AgroCampus evaluated. Finally, as an IT and DB-aware person, I'm convinced of the value of iMarine services. Outreach efforts are now directed towards end users' needs. And I'm also absolutely convinced that we need a core of international organizations such as FAO to govern it, to get a stable and long-term provider of data services which can animate, with the organization's reputation and legitimacy, a network of data and process providers.